This is a brief video on how to adjust the handbrake or emergency brake in a Ferrari F355. So I'm doing all new brakes on this car, rotors, pads, whatnot, and this is the rear wheel. I just replaced the emergency or handbrake pads behind the rotor. I apologize that I didn't start this with the rotor off. However, I think I can explain it pretty well. So essentially between the two parking brake shoes at the top at about 12 o'clock, you have this adjustment dial. It looks kind of like a gear. And this is a real simple piece. It's just a threaded mandrel, if you will. So when you turn it one way, it expands. You turn it another way, it contracts. So when you're setting up the brakes, you have it contracted all the way so you can get it in between the two shoes, and you put the rotor on. So then your first step in setup is first of all, you want to check your cable here. Now the handbrake lever should be in the relaxed position. And there's an adjustment on this shoe which adjusts the tension of the cables. And there's a jam nut here that you have to lock down after, and it's you need a 13mm wrench for that. In fact, you need a thin wrench along with a regular wrench due to the fact that when you're putting the jam nut on, the nut is kind of thin, so you can't get in there with two regular wrenches. So this setup is, you'll see it's not in tension, but it's not flopping around loose. So you want just, I guess I'd call it a little pre-tension. You're not pulling on the cable, but it's just not flopping around. So as far as setting up the shoes, you turn the adjustment wheel such that the shoes just start to make contact, and you can turn the rotor by hand and feel that. At that point, you back them off ever so slightly so that there's no friction, basically. So the shoes are just about to touch, but they're not there yet. And you do this on both sides, and you access it through this little hole in the rotor at about 12 o'clock. If you shine a flashlight in there, you'll see this gear mechanism. Now, I have another car, so this is a spare that I've got out to show you. So when you've got this set up right and you go to use the hand lever inside the car, you should lock the wheels up at about 3 to 4 clicks of the lever. Now, this ratchet, I think I need to check the spring on this on the pawl. It's not really clicking like one of my other cars, but it does work, and I can feel it. I don't know if we'll hear it in the video, but we'll go to like 3 or 4 clicks here. It's 1, I think, 2, 3. Okay, so now this is a ratchet setup, so I can lower the lever and it's still engaged. If I go back around to the car and breaker bar here, I've got a couple of wheel alignments in here, but I can just use this to check how well this is locked up. And I'm putting a lot of pressure on here, and you can see the wheel is totally locked up. Okay, so now obviously to release that, just come back to the hand lever. I'll pull it up all the way, put it in tension, and release the knob, lower it back down. Once we do that, this will be free to spin again. So hopefully it helps you guys.